Buenos días, queridos alumnos de Cela Spanish School Online. In our class today, we are going to continue studying the Present Subjunctive. In this class, we will talk about when we use the subjunctive in compound sentences. A compound sentence is a sentence with two or more grammatical subjects. This video is also available in Spanish and is part of the material of our distance learning Spanish courses for self-study. In the previous video, we explained that simple sentences with only one subject do not have the verb in the subjuntivo, unless they begin with ojalá, tal vez, quizás, probablemente, and posiblemente. Please watch the previous video before this one. Today, we are going to explain the use of the subjuntivo in compound sentences. Let's look at an example of a sentence with the verb in the subjuntivo. Espero que salga el sol. In this compound sentence, we have two verbs with different subjects. In the first sentence, we have the verb esperar in the first person singular. And in the second sentence, we have the verb salir in the third person singular subjuntivo. Both sentences are joined with que. Remember that in Spanish, the verb includes information about who the subject is. Having two different subjects joined by que is one of the characteristics of sentences with subjuntivo. However, as we will see later, not all compound sentences with two different subjects joined with que will have the subjunctive in the second sentence. We already explained some of this in the video number 1. In the first sentence, with the verb esperar, we express an expectation that we have about an action of another person or a thing, which in this case is el sol. In other words, I want the sun to do something, salir. What I want someone or something to do, the action I expect from another, is what will be in the subjuntivo in Spanish. That is why the imperative and the subjunctive is similar in conjugation. This expectation I have about another person's action can take several forms. For example, a wish. Quiero que mi hijo estudie inglés. I have a wish, and the wish is the action of another person, in this case, my son. The action that I expect from him is in the subjuntivo. Deseo que mis padres viajen a Europa. I have a wish about an action of my parents. I want them to do something, viajar. The action I wish from them, viajar, is in the subjuntivo. Espero que tú me llames. I have an expectation about an action from you. The action I expect is llamar and is in the subjuntivo. Te presto mi libro para que estudies español. I do something in order for you to do something. I expect an action from you. Estudiar español. The action expected from another is in the subjuntivo. Let's see more examples. When we express our opinion, such as our liking or disliking of another's action, the action we judge of another person or thing is in the subjuntivo. For example, me gusta que reciclen los plásticos. I approve the action of others. That action of others that I like or dislike goes in the subjuntivo. Me encanta que me compres flores. The action of other that I like is in subjuntivo. No me gusta que pongan música a alto volumen. I express my displeasure about the action of others. That action of others that I do not like is in the subjuntivo. Odio que la gente se queje tanto. I express my displeasure about others. Their action is in subjuntivo. Let's see more examples. When we advise, recommend, or forbid something to other people, what we want them to do or not to do is in the subjuntivo. Te aconsejo que hagas deporte. The action I expect of you, hacer deporte, has to be in subjuntivo. Les recomiendo que lleguen temprano. The action I suggest you to do, llegar temprano, must be in subjuntivo. Nos prohíben que estacionemos allí. The action that they expect us not to do, estacionarse, is in the subjuntivo because it is an action that is expected of someone other than the subject of the first sentence or main sentence. Es bueno que estudies idiomas. Here we give an opinion about the action of another person. In this case, tú. The action of another person about which we give an opinion is in the subjuntivo. Let's look at more examples. Sometimes the expectation we have about the action of something or someone is a characteristic it must have, or a condition it must fulfill. For example, busco un apartamento que esté en el centro. The action I expect from the apartment is a characteristic. Estar en el centro. The action that I expect from the apartment is in the subjuntivo. Necesitamos un empleado que tenga moto. The action we expect from him is to have a motorcycle. For actions or characteristics we expect from another, we use the subjuntivo. We can evaluate or give an opinion on the actions of another person or situation. The action we are giving our opinion on is in the subjuntivo. Es normal que suban los precios. I give my opinion on what prices do, subir. Es importante que los chicos estudien. I give my opinion about the action of the kids. The action of others about which I give my opinion is in the subjuntivo. Es necesario que solucionen el problema. I give my opinion about an action of theirs. The action I expect from them is in the subjuntivo. In short, we use the subjunctive for actions that we expect from someone other than the subject of the main sentence. We use the subjunctive for the actions we expect from another. If the subject is the same, that is, if the expected action is not from someone else, but from the same subject, the sentence would be very different. For example, quiero que mi hijo estudie inglés. I have the expectation that my son will study English. The action I expect from my son is in the subjuntivo. However, if I refer to myself, if I expect the action from myself, the sentence would be this: quiero estudiar inglés. I am referring to me. Let's see more examples. Deseo que mis padres viajen a Europa. I have a wish about the action of my parents. The action I wish for them is in the subjunctive. If the wish is for myself, the sentence would be like this: Deseo viajar a Europa. I hope the use of the subjuntivo is clear. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comment line of the video. There are always interesting examples and questions that lead us to more research and find good solutions for grammar topics. Well, as we already said, not always when there are two different subjects joined by que, we will use the subjuntivo. For example, here, tenemos un hijo que habla japonés. The subject of the first sentence is nosotros, and the subject of the second sentence, un hijo. However, in the second sentence, we do not use the subjuntivo because we don't expect an action from him. We don't want him to do something. We're talking about a fact. Nuestro hijo habla japonés. If we want to expect an action from him, the sentence would be like this. Queremos que nuestro hijo hable japonés. We use the subjuntivo for the action we expect from someone else. This is the explanation. Practice is very important. In the material of the distance learning course, we have many exercises. We are going to do some together now. In the following sentences, we will decide whether to use the subjunctive or the indicative, taking into account what we have explained so far. Juan quiere que sus hijos estudien en Francia. For the action that Juan expects from his children, we use the subjuntivo. Busco un apartamento que esté en el centro. The condition I expect from this apartment is to be in the center of the city. Te recomiendo que hagas dieta. The action I expect from you is to go on a diet. I expect an action from you. Es normal que la gente ahorre dinero en estos días. I give my opinion on the action of others. Te presto mi libro para que estudies los verbos irregulares. The action I expect from you is to study irregular verbs. Quiero ver una película que ponen en el cine. In this sentence, I do not use the subjunctive because I don't expect an action of the cinema. I'm talking about the fact that they show a movie and I want to see it. Tenemos un hijo que vive en China. Here, we are not expecting an action from someone, we are talking about a fact. I hope that the use of the subjunctive has become a little clearer. If you have any questions or examples where you do not know why the subjunctive is used, please write them in the comment line of the video. As always, we have to practice. In the material of our Spanish courses for self-study with teacher's assistance, we have many interesting exercises and activities. In the next video, we will explain the use of the subjunctive or indicative in sentence with verbs of thought and perception in the main sentence. I invite you to continue studying Spanish with us and to visit our website to learn more about our courses. Hasta pronto en un próximo video.